the COVID safety issue, hottest issue by far and away. If you can't make your employees feel comfortable coming back to work, you're never going to be able to get back where you were. In fact, here's the issue, and no one will want to talk about it this way, but I will, and that is that there are non-money making activities and there are money making activities. Doing policy, procedural changes, and documents don't make you a lot of money, but they're required in order for you to run your business with some kind of parameters and some kind of control. In this case, there will be new documents. There will be new procedures and policies in relationship to how we handle social distancing, how we handle workplace distancing, how we don't handle it. No matter where you stand on the political side of this whole thing, you are going to have a responsibility to make it a comfortable place for people to come to work. So that's going to change. We just have to face it. And I think proactively, you want to be working on that long before you bring people back in the door. And if you've already brought them back in, you've got to be sharpening that pencil all the time. And so that's going to change. And it's a big issue. Now, will we make some mistakes? Yes. Some people are going to err on the side of overprotection, and some are going to err on the side of underprotection. But your employees and your common sense is going to have to help guide you to come up with the procedures and policies that are going to work for you and your team. But that's got to change. So I think that's the number one thing. And if you can't publish those up front, and an employee says to you, "Hey, I don't feel safe," and you can't show them that you're doing this and actually, demonstrate it, it's going to be a difficult road. That's for sure. I think that's where the real answer is. And the second piece of that, the supply chain piece, and I explained it in a way like, I came from the automotive business. Just in General Motors, if you go to an assembly plant, there's these four major places inside of an assembly plant: the body shop and the paint shop and the trim shop and the final line. And they're all separate businesses that depend on the other parts of the business to work together. And that means that on a pull system type, they're expecting so much product to come from one to the next, to the next, to the next. Those are all separate businesses. Now, here's the problem. Pieces and parts of every one of those pieces of business come from a whole lot of different suppliers who may or may not have gone back to work at the same time you did. There's wait time in relationship to all that material and that equipment. And has everyone considered that before I bring my troops back to work? I mean, if I bring thousands of people back to work and I run out of parts on the fifth day because the company that supplies those didn't come back to work, now what, right? So supply chain is going to be a major issue, and that's just in one example. If I went to even a mom and pop grocery store somewhere, the same thing could happen to them. So these are, in my opinion, huge issues. But getting back to the safety piece, that's procedures, policies, and documents. And if you can't demonstrate that you have that in place and then demonstrate in your workplace that you're doing it, I think you'll have a really difficult time.